termination rights and wrongful termination, and justly so. I'm not saying that they're incorrect in bringing them forward, but it's just become more important, and it's a topic of liability that we have not seen people purchasing in the past, and something that should be discussed, especially if you have a large staff. The larger your staff, the more likely you could be having someone who's unhappy. So that's kind of where that one goes. So these are just, don't get stung, just beware of your exclusions. We talked about the exclusions before. Go to the exclusion page of your policy, read that first. It will tell you what you're not covered for, and that's important. Beware of any limitations you may have. There are certain policies that will have a limitation, for instance, on abusive acts if you're brought into a lawsuit. We see this a lot with massage for improper touching, things like that. There may have a sublimit for those types of claims, so that would be a limitation. The licensing requirements, can't say that enough. And state and local laws, again, so we've beaten that one to death, but you want to be aware of those things when you're talking about getting your insurance. Do you want to do questions now? Or?
Yes, if you don't mind. And I'm sorry to our audience, we're gonna go over just a couple minutes here, but there were some fantastic questions. And if I can trouble you to advance to our last slide, would you mind? Just so we were kind of resting on that thank you slide. And so really good questions that came in. One of them was from Brenda. She asks, does the price of the policy increase with claims? And I'm thinking of car insurance where that happens. But
generally, you know what? That's really so specific to the carrier.
Okay.
So that could be. It can and can't. It depends on the type of claim, the amount of the claim. Sometimes a large property claim certainly could increase your costs the next time around. Liability, not necessarily. If you've had one liability claim and it wasn't huge, if you've had several liability claims, if people have brought several professional liability claims against you, which happens but not often, you may either find yourself without insurance or the cost would go up. So it's generally depending on the type of losses and the amount of losses that you bring forward, not directly related as it is in car insurance. But again, the carriers vary on that so much that it's hard to really give a definite answer on that. So again, I would ask your professional about that. Yeah.
Right. Another reason to familiarize yourself with your policy and your carrier. A question came in from Monica, who asked, what kind of coverage do you recommend for a mobile spa business? So just obviously answering broadly, like what categories would they be looking at?